Hey everybody, I'm back with Noon with Natalie. My name's Natalie and I am the owner of Master Your Authentic Voice. I'm a public speaking and presentation skills expert and the creator of Teen Talk. So I am helping professionals and teens master their authentic voices when it comes to speaking. And I have a very special guest with me today. She was just featured on Breakfast Television just last week. I want to tell you a little bit about her. Mimi B is a 22-year-old doll photographer in Montreal, and she rediscovered her American Girl dolls in 2014 when she came across them while organizing her closet. I'm sure her mom was happy about that. She started taking fun photos of her dolls on her iPod and editing them with apps. There's so much we can do with apps now. And then she started sharing her work on Instagram, and that's where she discovered this whole community of doll photographers. She specializes in urban doll photography and is known for outdoor and winter scene landscapes. And she was just, like I said, featured. She's been featured on City News Montreal, CBC Montreal, Metro Journal, CJAD 800, and the Edmonton Examiner. So our girl Mimi has gone national. Welcome to Noon with Natalie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I am super excited because at first I thought, I wasn't sure about the whole doll thing. I wasn't sure how to take it. Like, where do we go with this? But, like how, so you got into it because you found the doll. So how did you like stumble on getting the photos done? Like, what is your go-to tool?
Well, it started with the closet thing, and then it went into the iPod, just taking photos of the dolls. But if you go like way back into like when I was in high school, I actually used to take photos of another doll, like not the American Girls,
Okay.
but of the BFC ink doll with a point and shoot and like with black and white filters and like sepia filters.
Okay.
So like I have a history in like just taking photos of dolls,
Yeah.
like just generally. Even when I was a little girl, I used to take photos of my dolls. So I have a history with it. So it's always been something I've always loved, and I've always been like a toy doll, mainly a doll person, and like that's something I've always really been passionate about. So the fact that I like dolls to this day is not a surprise for me.
Yeah.
It's always been something that it's been in me. The photography, though, on another hand, it really like it kind of evolved. As I said, I used to do a point and shoot camera, and I never really promoted that. I have the photos on my Instagram, but they're on like little slide things, so you can't really see them.
Yeah.
And then I went to the iPod, which the iPod at that point was actually better than the point and shoot, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was just doing like the edits and whatnot. And then my mom actually took a culinary trip to Italy, and she had to get herself a Canon camera because it was like a food photography culinary trip, which was really interesting. So she got the Canon Rebel T3i.
Yeah.
And she afterwards, she's like, well, I don't really need to use it. She used it a bit for her videos and whatnot, but she was like, well, I don't really need it. So if you want to use it, feel free to pick it up. Like, honestly, it's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. It took me a year before I actually picked it up because I was kind of scared of all like the settings and all the stuff that it has in it, basically, because there's so much to learn. I literally woke up one morning and I was like, I'm going to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
So I went into my kitchen, and it was like right like when I woke up. So I went into my kitchen, I grabbed my laptop, and I started Googling classes. And I would hands down recommend this course. I found a course at Dawson College. It was a non-accredited photography based camera basics class. I can't say that. And it started that night. The night I searched it started. Yeah. And I went downtown that night. I had no clue what to expect. I just brought the camera with all the stuff in this big bag. I had like no experience.
And hope for the best.
Yeah, and I hope for the best, exactly.
And so you're doing landscaping, and I know you've traveled with some of the dolls. So where are some of the favorite spots you've been shooting?
Oh my God. So in Montreal, there is an alleyway. I think it's on Saint Laurent.
Okay.
But recently the little mushrooms are painted over, which I was very sad about. But there's these little mushrooms and they were so cute.
Yeah.
And there was like a graffiti alley, and it's still like the graffiti alley's still there. It's where the graffiti artists actually go and practice their graffiti for like the big murals and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's one of my favorite places in Montreal. I love doing the mountain. That was really fun.
Okay.
I recently went to New York actually.
Yes.
In May, and I got to meet up with one of my really good. Well, now he's like a really good friend of mine. I got to meet up with him in New York, and he's also a doll photographer. So we went out and we're shooting in Times Square.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
Really interesting. Yeah, I had a vision, and my vision literally came true. I was like, that's fantastic. I love it.
Excellent. So you've been publishing your work mostly where? So you do the pictures, you edit them. How long is the process, from time that you do the shoot to processing and then including the publishing of them?
Okay, so that could last up to a week.
Okay.
Because first of all, you had to go out and shoot. Then you had to edit. So I usually edit the same day unless I have something that day.
Yeah.
So if I don't have something that day, then I'll edit the following day, and I'll usually go into like a cafe and grab a coffee and have like my editing done. And then to post them, because they're my main markets on Instagram, you can't post them all at once. So you had to like spread them out within like a week or two.
Okay.
So actually posting them on Instagram takes a really long time.
Okay.
Versus like Facebook, Twitter, and my website, I can just post them as like an album or like as a set, and it's only one post, so it doesn't annoy people. But if I post like one at a time on Instagram, it's too much.
It can be, it can be overwhelming. Absolutely.
Sure.
So I want to take a different angle here. So at the beginning of your bio, you're 22.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was 22 a little while ago, not that long ago, I feel like. And I remember that I was really kind of directed and, to go to school and you take courses and find a job. And there's this kind of routine in growing up that we're trying. So how at 22 do you decide like I'm going to throw myself into this? And I don't know if you call it a career or a passion, but
it's a passion that I would like to make a career.
Okay. So the photography is the career part?
I mean, whether I'm a brand ambassador or if I'm sponsored by a brand or if it develops into some type of photography career, I mean, either way I would go. Like whether Mattel asked me to do something or another doll company asked me to do something, I would be open to anything. Okay,
so we might be looking for somebody who works at a doll company right now.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And
like an ambassador or like product reviews or whatnot.
Because we have a small daughter and we constantly tell her that she's smart, strong, and brave. And I think you're super brave at 22 to be taking this venture on, because I don't know that anybody or many people would do it. So what advice do you have for those people that are out there following their passion? Because like me, I mean, I wasn't until I was in my 40s when I decided to launch a speaking business. I'm a talker, always love to talk. My friends, I drive them crazy, but it doesn't come necessarily that easily for somebody who's a little bit younger. So what can you recommend to somebody?
Personally, there's a whole community out there that I have support from. A lot of those girls don't advertise it whatsoever. There's a lot of girls who have a lot of followers and that are really successful. There's actually a few actual photographers. There's some people in school that are doing like video. So I'm definitely not the only one doing it. And I'm really happy for that because I've benefited from everybody around me. But for anybody who has a hobby that might be the littlest bit different, you gotta embrace it, because honestly, like, you have nothing to lose. With anything you do, there's gonna be haters. With anything you do, like, you're gonna have ups and downs, and there's gonna be like bumps in the road along the way. But I mean, I've always been somebody that like doesn't really care. So like whether I throw it out there on the internet and it's there for a year and then I delete it, like, well, I mean, who saw it? Like, maybe a bunch of people saw it.
Exactly.
it only lasts for a certain amount of time. People have a very short attention span. So
that is true.
like, I mean, you can put something out there and it will be remembered for maybe a couple of months and then it will just kind of die. But for the doll thing, I've always been somebody who like really likes something out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And I've always been somebody who wants to be different and unique and not be in that box. So for me, it was like the perfect thing because it's super unique. So if you are a young girl or you are a young entrepreneur that wants to do something different, I say go for it. I mean, you have absolutely nothing to lose and you have everything to gain. So
Absolutely. That is some great wisdom from a young woman.
yeah.
So now if somebody wants to start following you or wants to know more about Mimi B, how do we find you? Where do we go to find you?
You can go to my website. I have all my links on my website under social media, and it's mimibdolls.com.
mimibdolls.com. Excellent. So we're going to put that in the bio feed on the post, and so people will be able to go have a clickable link. If you're looking for inspiration, you're looking to find out more about the doll community, about photography even, or do you just want some wise advice from a young woman, please reach out to Mimi. She will be sure to help you out. My name's Natalie. If you need any speaking advice or you are looking to up your presentation game, you can reach me at www.nataliemayotte.com. Make sure to include that as well. Thank you for being with me today. This is, as you said, everybody has the shortest attention span, so we're keeping it short and sweet. Thank you for being with me, Mimi, today. It was great seeing you again, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Take
for having
care.
me.
Bye now.
Bye.